A little mini lesson today, finance, investing related. One of my mastermind subs is now having a $250,000 inheritance. Nice work. And she has asked for some pointers, some tips, and some guidance on what to do with it. Now, maybe some of you don't have that or not going to have an inheritance like that, but the lesson could still be very valuable just to get some of my mindset, some of the holistic viewpoints on what you do, how to process and how to think about coming into money. Here we go. First things first, open up a Word doc. I deserve this $250,000 because I paste 100 times. Go and answer that 100 times. 100 reasons you deserve the inheritance. I did the dishes. I kept them company. I helped them move. I kept stability in the family. I did everything that you did to deserve the 250. Write it down, because many people who get inheritance or have a winning or do a lottery don't actually think they deserve it, and they find a way to squander it or get it taken from them. I know people, and I'm sure you do too, who got given a bunch of shit, but really deep down, right here, they don't believe that they deserve it. So they find a way to crash the car that they got given, or they get it taken, they lose the license, they lose the points. The shit all happens, and it gets taken from them because they don't want it. Step 1 is your mindset and your deserve level. Step 2 is your legal obligations and taxes. Make sure, do the research, get advice, professional advice, to make sure you don't owe anything and don't get caught trying to avoid that. Not worth it. Step 3 is to build cash cushion, 6 months of expenses. So if your expenses, for example, are $1,000 a week, you want about $26,000 pulled out and stored in cash, assuming you've got none already. Step 4 is to pay off all your debts, particularly if you've got personal loans or non-tax deductible finance. You want to get rid of that shit. The thing with people, a lot of people don't understand is that if you've got a 10% personal loan and you pay the debt off, you've got a guaranteed 10% return. It's better than what you're going to do investing, probably. And then step 5, what I would do personally, is pull out around about $10,000 to $20,000 for your business development. By far, the biggest thing that's going to build your wealth in your life is your business. And if you're doing 4-product empire, lean, green profit machine model, $10,000 to $20,000 is more than enough to start a 7-figure business these days. With the internet, with the social media, with a digital online delivery product, that's a heap. I started my last business for $107. So that's 10, 15 grand. And by the way, the 10 to 15 could be put into education to expand your mind, to teach you how to build it. I'm going to make a statement here, bold claim. Less than $5,000, I believe that you can get the education that you need to go and make 7 figures a year. I truly believe, hand on my heart, that you can make $1 million a year in a business and learning how to create that business for less than $5,000 with online education, self-education. When you see people out there, influencers, people like me, probably fucking, and yapping on about don't go to uni's a waste of money, all this sort of thing, it's because the people who really know that in their heart are seeing these fucking kids go and spend 50, 100 grand and to go and end up being wage slaves earning 50, 100 grand a year, which is crazy shit. Crazy fucking shit. Yeah, hope that makes sense. And then finally, scaling the remainder over a set period into high quality, low cost stock index funds. This is the advice for the majority of the people. If you have no trading knowledge, no speculative knowledge, this is going to give you the highest probability of success. So you've got here 26 on your cash cushion, 15 here. There's 209 remaining from the initial 250. Come up to my tool here. If you're a mastermind, you know this tool. And so you type in your 209,000. Desired cash buffer is 26,000. And you're already, let's just say you got a job and you're putting into your investments $1,000 a month. That's really good. Scale in time, 48 months. So what you want to be doing here is you get this number. Total monthly investment over the next 48 months is $4,800 per month. And that will, over a long period of time, scale in your 209. Make sense? And if you're in doubt about which fund to put your money in, I'm not going to give you personal specific advice, but you're not going to go far wrong with just going into your local Vanguard site. This is the Australian Vanguard list of products, and taking a look at what they've got to offer. They offer fixed interest, cash, property funds, Australian, international shares, and also diversified funds as well, where they give you a split of stocks and bonds. And so you're going to do better here probably than going through your local broker with the salespeople. Those guys make their money through your trading volume. And so if you listen to the broker, you'll go broke. Leave that for the fucking punters and getting called up and saying, oh, here's the next hot stock, here's the next thing. Fuck that. You can get wealthy over a long period with relatively low risk. By the way, here's one. You want to check out the Vanguard Australian property funds. These are absolute doozies. If you're an Australian, you're messaging me, one of the people saying, oh, God, Lewis, here's the thing. I'm going to go and get this big fat loan so that I can go to work and work harder than ever before to pay for this loan for my investment. property. It'll be negatively geared, but I'll get a tax break, and then I'll put some tenants in there so that they can shit all over the floor, and I can go and fix their cocksucking air conditioner and all this bullshit that I'm going to have to fix for them until the end of time, and fix their roof and the... Fuck that. Do you think that's going to build you wealth? Message me first so I can talk you out of it so that you don't get yourself trapped. And unless you have property knowledge, specialized knowledge, you're a developer, you're a renovator, and you want to go and do it, and you really want to get hands-on, do that thing, maybe you can do okay with that. If not, do REITs. And then very finally, know where you are, know where you're going, and know how you're going to get there. Put your numbers into your financial independence calculator. Every one of my students should have done this already. And so that you can see a trajectory of what your liquidity curve's looking like based on conservative figures. I'm using 8% a year, but you could probably do even better than that. Based on conservative figures, how you're looking in the future, and project your wealth into the future. With the numbers I just showed you, you're looking good for around about 11.3 million that's a 40-year chart. Now, here's the shocker. 11.3 might sound like a good number, but it's not. 480 months from now, it'll be 2059. So 11.3 million in 2059. It's only going to feel like 2.2 million by today's standards. You need to know not only your trajectories, but you need to know how it plays out with inflation-adjusted figures. Because people really think they're going to do better than they are, and they're not usually. So ultimately, it still comes back to building a business that serves ever greater numbers of people and is in a field that is inspiring and meaningful to you and leaves a legacy on the planet. And you want to aim bigger. 100 million minimum is really the goal.